Yeah,
Good
this
morning,
is
everybody. It is
yeah,
Sunday.
guten Morgen, it's a Sonntag, yeah. So,
Sonntag. Good morning, everybody. It is
guten
Sunday.
Morgen.
I have to translate
Yeah.
from October 22nd, 2017, here on the
22.
Rancho
Ja, auf
with
der Rancho.
with Missy Jenn. And ever
With
since
me.
she's had her infusion, it seems to be more and more all German all the time.
Seit ich meine Infusion habe, ist es immer mehr Deutsch.
Guten Morgen, Fräulein.
Guten Morgen,
There we go.
Fräulein Rosi.
Fräulein Jean, Fräulein Jennifer. Anyway, good morning, guys. It is time for our weekly coffee time. Yay! Coffee time here on the Rancho. This is really the week that things settle down, but I want to have a chance to start this morning with Missy Jenn here and get a little update. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's now 4 days since the infusion, three and a half days really. So why don't you update our subscribers there on what's going on now, how you feeling and how you doing, and what's been happening the last 4 days, and just a quick synopsis for them of what's going on and everything.
Let's see the quick synopsis. Well, let's see, the first 2 days I pretty much couldn't do anything. I was so tired, so worn out. I slept 14 hours and I still pretty much just laid on the couch during the day. Watched TV, didn't move. I totally fatigued. Third day, still very fatigued, but I still actually in the mornings. When I get up, it's already getting stronger. And one positive thing I noticed was the neuropathic pain at night is getting less in my hands and arms.
That's a quality of life.
So that's a quality of life improvement right there. And I just don't last very long during the day. And my left leg goes out and my right arm goes out. It's like crisscross across my body. So then the fourth day, I last a little bit longer, but then the same thing happens. My left leg goes out, my right arm goes out, and I lose my speech, which is a sign of total fatigue. So, but when I get up in the morning, I'm actually pretty strong.
Yeah, I'd like to think that strength will start to come back day after day now.
I'm feeling good in general.
Good, because we have our second infusion coming up on November 1st, which is not really, what is that, 9 days? 9 days away. So we're kind of excited about number 2. But I think over time, the fact that Missy Jenn had no allergic reaction to the infusion is awesome, because all the medicine can therefore work instead of some being counteracted by immune system. And number 2 is that she's already experiencing positivity with lessening of the tingling in the extremities, which is a quality of life. I know that drives you, anytime your hand's asleep, you know how that feels. I mean, it's a really lousy feeling. So I have a lot of hope that things are going to go on a track towards, some improvement. Remember, everybody on a medication reacts differently. Some people will have zero response. Some people will have a total allergic reaction and are unable to proceed forward. And some people will be helped dramatically, and the vast majority of the people will be in that great middle of the bell curve, that great middle ground of what makes an average an average, as most people are congregated around that point. So we have our fingers crossed for that. We've got the Halloween decorations are up. I hope to put a video up on that probably today. We also have a baking video coming up. We tried some dollar store muffin mix. We're going to pop that up and see how you guys like that. We were kind of impressed by that. That's a video to look forward to. I may be out boondocking on Tuesday night this week. returned down to Point Reyes Station and tried to look around the town of Bolinas a little bit. It'll give Missy Jenn a chance to, yes, go Rosie.
I will rest.
She will rest without me chasing around, cutting trees. We did a lot of tree pruning yesterday too, so that probably Missy Jenn was right out there helping with the pulling the branches back to the pollen back and doing always right there when there's work to be done. On the other note about the Santa Rosa fires, they're finally, the fires are basically out. We're probably at an average of 90% contained on all the fires around.
Yeah,
We're going to have a wind event overnight this evening, and the 2-week anniversary of the fires. Kind of got our fingers crossed for that. That goes smoothly, but it's interesting if you ever peek in and look at local papers, and I always kind of look at everybody's local papers around the country when things are going on. I.e. the Houston Astros beat the Yankees to go to the World Series, and then you'll read the New York papers to see their take on it. Well, in Santa Rosa, they're starting to assess through our local newspaper, the Press Democrat here, some of the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. And the effort is so massive when you look at the number of homes that were destroyed and you look at the people involved, they really do span from the very wealthiest citizens of Santa Rosa to the poorer citizens. And it cuts across, and it's going to be interesting to see how those groups, and across that whole spectrum, how they stack up when it comes to getting priorities and help when it comes to rebuilding. I think what's going to happen next, a lot of people have asked, how is the cleanup going to proceed? You can't have all these individuals digging through the rubble of their home and throwing it in trash cans. And I mean, there's a lot of toxic stuff that went into the soil, obviously.
Right, toxic waste.
So what they're going to be doing, as far as the city of Santa Rosa is concerned, actually the Army Corps of Engineers is going to be coming in and supervising with contractors the initial cleanup, and they think that's the first 2 weeks is going to be settled on going around and trying to identify obviously toxic stuff to remove and get out. And then after 2 weeks, when that's all clear, they're going to come in probably with a fleet of roll-off dumpsters and just start bulldozing, bobcats, just picking up all that stuff and clearing all of the sites. On a positive note, a lot of the stub-ins, the electrical, the water, the natural gas piping is already existing. In other words, all the ground development, the foundational work has all been done.
Right.
So, it's a step-by-step assessment. But the other thing is there's going to be a big loss of tax revenue, and I think the city's finally grappling with that fact. When you lose a major hotel like the Hilton Hotel, the Hilton Wine Country Hotel.
That was huge hotel.
The Fountain Grove Inn, which was a small boutique hotel, but still extremely popular with the restaurants. And you lose the restaurants where we ate, we never did a review on it, unfortunately, but we went and ate there when the Kansas City Royals were in the World Series. Sweet Teas.
Yeah, and they did win.
The Southern style barbecue restaurant has been destroyed, and a lot of the markets, and of course the Kmart, the Value Inn Motel. There's been, that all that generated a huge amount of tax revenue for the city. So that's not going to be easily replaced. So in the interim, plus when you take out the county assessor has already been working to prorate the tax bill, so you're not paying property tax on basically an empty piece of land. Now, so you add it all up, and there's probably going to be out of a $1 billion city budget, there's a, $50 million hole shot through it, at least initially here with revenues lost. So it's going to be interesting to see how the city deals with that going forward. And of course, Missy Jenn, the worst thing is the acute shortage of construction workers out there, stretched between California, Florida, and
Texas.
Texas. Now, of course, Florida, California will end up paying wages probably 30% higher than those areas, but of course you have to bring your own housing and stuff like that. There won't be any, they're talking about bringing in temporary housing, some of the contractors and stuff. So you're looking at a major job. You almost wish there was like a Peter Kiewit company, one of these, or Whiting Turner Construction Company in Baltimore, one of these mega nationwide contractors that would just come in and have permission.
They hammer that part out.
Yeah, they just have permission to go up
boom.
to, into Coffee Park and just start with their crews on 500 homes, and then, everybody signs. But we know that won't happen. Why? Because the lawyers are all getting it. You can't even go on Facebook without seeing all the ads for, let's get even, and somebody's got to pay, and all that.
Yeah, the first lawsuit was filed a few days, 2-3 days ago, and they were talking that there's going to be many following, and on TV you already start seeing the ads. If you live in Santa Rosa and you've been affected by the fires, call this number here. We will be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, I think underinsured homes is going to be another problem too, because very few people, unless you have an advisor, usually a financial advisor, are going to remind you once a year to sit down and assess the values, think about the value of your property and what its value is now, and then adjust your property insurance accordingly.
Right.
Some people insure their house and they just keep making payments, and then something like this happens, and they find out, ooh, we're only insured for the value of 1989 or whatever. Yikes,
Right. And also insure your silver coin collections if you add on to it, or maybe make sure that now that you learn from it, have it accessible that in case of an emergency again, you have it ready to grab and go.
Yeah, I'm going to put a link down in the description box to a guy, our local Press Democrat has a video channel, the Press Democrat YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you can go and I'll put a link to this one guy whose whole collection of memorabilia was destroyed. He had like 40 signed baseball bats, Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle. He had 100 signed baseballs. He had complete playing card, baseball card sets from like 1967, bobbleheads, all kinds of stuff. Make sure if you have valuable collections like this, like the vintage audio stuff, that you have a separate rider on the policy. It covers them, because they'll only give you like $2,500 of personal property loss or something like that in most of these policies. Anyway, guys, happy Sunday to you. Coffee time. Yay!
Yay!
We've got more good stuff coming up this week, as usual. And thank you. We've been adding subscribers like crazy, and some of the view counts on the videos and stuff have been the biggest in the history of the channel. And of course, Missy Jenn did a lot of video work too. She's put on her own take on her infusions and on the fires and stuff. So make sure you check out Jenn and Rosie Reality TV. We're going to get our Sunday underway. Y'all have a wonderful day, and stay tuned. As we always say, more good stuff to come. Coffee time. Have a great day, everybody.